thing's kind of jacked up. Welcome to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. It's Brad and Josh here again, like always, ready to break down some Monday night action. Tell you a little bit about what's going to happen on Thursday. And we got some news today, Josh. Some news in the NFL. Are you excited about this news?
I'm excited about some of the news. Not excited about all of it, obviously.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess some of it's bad news.
Yeah, some of it's bad news.
That's true.
And I think we should start off by saying this is probably going to be an explicit show. This will not be rated E for everyone. Yeah, going to be a lot of...
That's going to be the only BPC.
Yeah, it's going to get a little crazy tonight. And I think we should start the show off by you expressing your feelings.
Gus Malzahn will be back next year.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course. He's in the first year of a 7-year, $49 million deal. Of course, we knew that. Anyway, no, I think we should start the show by you expressing your feelings about how the Dallas Cowboys decide to use their star running back.
Yeah, about that.
Go ahead.
So
please.
He got 17 carries, which you'd like to see. He got 5 catches, which is another good thing, right?
Yeah, it's great.
But when you're on a drive and you're down 2 touchdowns, and he's probably your best playmaker on the team,
Yeah.
what do you want him to do? Block? Okay, we're going to have him block. Or we're going to put him on the flat wide open. And what's Dak going to do? Not look that way at all. Refuse to look that way. But it is what it is. Moving on.
I just knew you were so upset you changed your team name.
Yeah, to feed effing Zeke.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw random F-bombs out here.
No, I know, but I'm just saying you were so upset you felt compelled.
I fixed it.
To protest via your team name.
Yeah, but Jason Garrett isn't getting fired, according to Jerry.
Yeah, because that's a good sign.
Right, you want to talk about this game before we get into the news?
Yeah, let's start recapping this game. It was Titans 28, Cowboys 14.
How many points Cowboys scored in the first half?
They scored 14.
How many they scored in the second half?
0 points.
Yeah, it's usually good for your team, right?
It's not normally good for your team. Marcus Mariota, he had a great day. 2 touchdowns through the air, 21 and 29 passing, and then he ran one in, because why not?
He also had a fumble in the very beginning of the game, too, which you look like Dallas was going to blow him out of the water.
Yeah, it did not look good in the beginning. So they fumbled twice and recovered. The Cowboys recovered both of those fumbles in the first quarter, and there was almost a third fumble recovered as well. So it did not look good, but they got on track, man, and they got it done.
Yeah, I think the Dallas defense got worn down just from the simple lack of sustaining drives from Dallas.
A lot of 3-and-outs will do that to you.
Yeah, 3-and-outs and then fumbles and just bad.
And I think it's funny, too, because the Cowboys started out, their first drive looked great. But that's
a field goal.
Yes, but that's a lot of that is because, your first 15 plays a lot of times are scripted.
Yep.
And you would figure that, okay, they'll build on that. The Titans, their first 15 plays looked awful. And instead, they just built on that. And they actually came out, played very well. They were able to attack the Cowboys relatively well through the air. And on the ground, they weren't great. But I think the big story here on the Tennessee side is that Dion Lewis is now the clear number 1 running back.
Yep. I mean, as of now, yeah. Unless something happens and he gets hurt, which he has had the injury bug before. But
23 touches to Derrick Henry's 7.
Do you want to still hold on to Derrick Henry?
I have no interest in Derrick.
As a handcuff for Dion Lewis, as a guy like I just said has been
because
had injuries before.
Even as a handcuff, he won't be fantasy relevant because he's not good. He doesn't have great standalone value.
Okay.
I think it's time to drop Derrick Henry.
All right. I'm going to hold on to him just because he's still got a touchdown. He's a big guy. If they use him in the red zone for touchdowns, why not?
He's basically LeGarrette Blount.
What about Corey Davis? Corey Davis had a few catches, right?
6 for 56, and he was targeted. I think he had double-digit targets, 10, 12 targets.
This is why we love Corey Davis coming in the year. And in the beginning of the year, he was getting hyper-targeted.
Yes.
And so if he's going to get targets like this, he's going to stay fantasy relevant, especially in PPR.
Absolutely, and he did very well. Another thing is Amari Cooper, he was being hyper-targeted. He only had walked away 558 with a touchdown, but Amari Cooper looked like he could be a thing in Dallas.
Yeah. They do want to give him the ball. They ran a lot of plays to get him involved and get the ball.
And it did open up some things for some of the other guys, like Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup, 3 for 51, but he was targeted quite a bit in the red zone. Even Dak Prescott was targeted once in the red zone as well.
Yeah. Allen Hurns had a touchdown?
He did.
I think this is Allen Hurns' best role, is the number 2 guy. In Jacksonville, that's where he thrived to, as the number 2 guy to Allen Robinson.
Yes.
And not having the whole offense on his shoulders. You're the other guy. Go out there and make a couple plays, score a couple touchdowns.
Dak looked a little underwhelming, but I think that really what it is the coaching staff is stunning his growth. I'm not going to put this all on Dak Prescott's shoulders. The offensive line looked horrible. They fired their offensive line coach after week 8, and it didn't really look like it made much of a difference in this game.
Yeah, I don't know. They got a lot of work to do in Dallas.
Is there anyone you're interested in as far as picking up?
No.
I still like Corey Davis.
Corey Davis, if he got dropped in your league, I don't know. Maybe after the bye, people dropped him. Corey Davis is really the only guy here. The Tennessee tight end, Jonnu Smith, didn't he have a touchdown as well?
He did.
He did. I mean,
and that was off of that nice little pitch play.
Yeah. So I mean,
it was the Trey
tight end's
play.
rough, and we know Mariota's used his tight end before, but he hasn't done anything in a while. It's all a lot of hope and prayer, especially on Tennessee. They have New England coming up.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's another thing. We'll see how that goes for them. All right, you ready for some news?
Baby shark. It's been in my head all day. I don't.
Yeah, and we just got sued for that.
I don't care.
All right, some news. Which wide receiver you want to talk about first? The employed one or the soon-to-be employed one?
I think we should get the employed one out of the way.
All right, AJ Green. It's going to be at least 2 weeks.
Oh, poor AJ.
2 weeks until and then he's going to get reevaluated. So even after 2 weeks, we don't know if he's coming back. It's a toe. What was it, 4 years? 3 years ago? 4 years ago, he missed a lot of games because of a toe.
Mm-hmm.
So a toe has been an issue before with him. I'm really worried about this, honestly.
You're worried?
Yeah, for the whole Cincinnati Bengals offense. Andy Dalton's numbers without AJ Green. Because before I was like, oh, nice matchup. Going to New Orleans. Andy Dalton still start. But Andy Dalton without AJ Green has not been good.
No, it's concerning.
He averages about 1 touchdown pass per game.
It's a concern. It's a concern for Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon as well.
Yeah, I don't know if Tyler Boyd can be the number one. I hope he can. Because I still own some shares of Tyler Boyd, but it's going to be rough.
Yeah, I'm not very excited about that. I think that AJ Green is going to hurt some teams, obviously, by not being there, but I do think that this affects everyone as a whole, and you have to have a little bit of concern about what this is going to do to your Tyler Boyd. I think it's going to allow them to go ahead and make sure that they devote a lot of attention to Tyler Boyd. Joe Mixon, they're going to be able to stack the box now. It's going to be one of those situations where they don't have a lot of playmakers. I understand John Ross might be healthy. If he's healthy, he's very fast, but he's not really been a factor in his entire career thus far. Right?
Yeah. John Ross is a poor man's Adam Humphries. That's rough. I shouldn't say that's mean.
Yeah, that is pretty mean. Because he's a nice guy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm really nervous about the whole Bengals. I mean, Joe Mixon they're probably going to just try to run the ball all over everybody. So Joe Mixon's still going to be a great fantasy option, I think. I do want to see what Bill Lazor does. Pew, pew.
Lazor. All right, so any other news we got over there, bro?
Oh, we got lots. Dez Bryant, right now, supposedly working out a deal with the New Orleans Saints. Do you care?
I do not care.
Okay, you're not going to pick up Dez, is what you get me by that. How does this affect Ben Watson? I think he's the most affected guy by this if they do sign him.
Ben Watson hasn't been a huge factor anyway.
But he's tight end. He's a tight end.
I understand. It's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt him.
We talk about how bad tight end is. If Ben Watson.
And if he gets signed, Cameron Meredith he's already been droppable, but Dez Bryant will easily take over Cameron Meredith's role.
I don't think it affects Michael Thomas too much because he is the guy there.
He's the man.
The rookie, Smith.
Traquan
Smith. There we go. I don't think it affects his role at all because he's the burner. He's a speed guy.
And that ain't Dez.
And not what Dez is now.
Yeah.
It may have to run game a little bit because Dez is a good run blocker.
Dez was never a number one.
Okay, calm down, Jerry, over there. Give me that creepy Jerry Jones wink.
Oh, because you like it.
Yeah, all right. And then Geronimo Allison, IR.
Very sad, but this does mean that Marquez Valdez-Scantling will emerge as the number 2 receiver in Green Bay. Yes,
Number 2?
He will jump Randall Cobb, I believe.
Well, he's already kind of jumped Randall Cobb if you look the last few weeks, even when they're both on the field.
Yep.
Yep. So Marquez Valdez-Scantling, if somebody dropped him or anything, he's still on the waiver wire, go pick him up. Cordell Patterson. In CBS and in ESPN, he's getting running back eligibility, I guess, is the best way to say it.
So he's going to be Tavon Austin and Ty Montgomery from last year?
Yes. He's going to have both of them.
I don't care.
Okay.
And the main reason is because Sony Michel is getting ready to come back. He was used basically because Sony Michel was out.
And honestly, he got that touchdown. That's really the only reason is the number 2.
He had that one great drive where he ran 50 yards and, he was averaging about, 10 yards a carry or something crazy like that. But I think the Cordell Patterson, if we find out that Sony Michel doesn't play, he could be a nice streaming option. But Tennessee's they've been really good against the run this year. Zeke didn't have 100 yards last night. Then again, they didn't feed him. So
yeah, they sort of fed him.
He was hungry.
All right. And speaking of Sony Michel, reports are that he's likely to play. That's what Adam Schefter said, likely to play. And obviously we can trust everything out of Patriots camp, right?
You got to be careful with this, man. He could get the entire workload outside of, the James White passing, or he could get 2 carries. You have to be careful with this thing because Bill Belichick, his version of healthy and his version of sick are completely different than any other team in the league. Their last week, there was 13 players on the injury report, and the majority of them played. So you need to be careful with this. We'll wait and we'll see how he's progressing along in practice, and we'll have a better idea for you on Thursday.
Exactly. All right, one last thing. So we talked last week about the Browns firing the coach.
Yeah.
And then the reports are that Bruce Arians is not opposed to coaching the Browns.
Oh, that would be amazing.
So I guess this is speculation for next year. It's a Tuesday show. We don't have a whole lot to talk about anyway. Let's say Bruce Arians goes there. What does that do for the offense?
It's great news for Jarvis Landry.
What do you think about Nick Chubb?
I think it's great news for Nick Chubb, too. I don't think – because he's not going to be the kind of guy – historically, he hasn't been the kind of guy where he used – 2 different running backs. I think it's bad news for Duke Johnson because Duke Johnson isn't a first and second down kind of running back, and Nick Chubb can be that guy.
Yeah, I think Nick Chubb is underrated in his passing game. I think because Duke Johnson's there, we all think Nick Chubb can't catch the ball, but when he's had opportunities, he's caught it and looked decent. He hasn't looked like a Jordan Howard from last year or nothing. So
Jordan Howard's got so much better.
He has, but I'm saying last year, like.
Yeah, he was very bad. He couldn't catch a cold.
Okay, any other news you want to talk about? Anything else out there in the
No,
sphere?
I've been scattering, and it's tough. I can't even find our questions for tonight. So no, I think we're good.
All right. So Thursday night
game. Now this is gonna be exciting.
Is this the best Thursday night game we've had so far? Like on paper, going into it.
Yeah, I'm excited about this game. Very excited. Carolina and Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh. Thursday night. I'm pumped, dude.
Is there anybody you're not starting? So, auto starters. Cam,
Christian McCaffrey, Greg Olsen.
And then on the... So, I think it's the auto starters for the Panthers. You can say Funchess is...
No.
Sort of playable, but just because you're expecting a shootout.
You got to be really careful with the Panthers wide receivers. Last weekend, I honestly thought DJ Moore was going to be the guy, and it ended up being Curtis Samuel. So I think you got to be cautious with that. Brad's a bit distracted.
I'm listening to every word you're saying.
He's watching his Kentucky Wildcats play basketball
and not play it well.
But on the
That's what Kentucky looks like right now.
Yeah, he was cussing up a storm before we started this thing. He's actually doing really good. So, anyway, on the Pittsburgh side of the ball, though, Ben Roethlisberger, he's at home.
Yes.
You're going to start him.
And against the Carolina team that Fitzmagic just threw 4 touchdowns against, too. So, yeah. Big Ben,
Start.
James Conner.
Yep. Juju
and AB both.
Start.
Vance McDonald.
So, here's an interesting thing, and we talked about this last week, is the Panthers are very bad against tight ends. They're so bad, actually. They've allowed a touchdown to a tight end in almost every game this year. There's actually only been one instance where they did not allow a touchdown to a tight end. And then they allowed 2 to O.J. Howard this past weekend. So, even though I don't want to bring it up too much because my opponent will be using Vance McDonald, he's a good play this week. On paper, anyway.
On paper, yeah. Over-under of 52 in this game, and Pittsburgh's only favored by 4. So 52 over-under, it's a pretty good high-scoring game.
I think it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they go past that.
You kind of talked about the Panthers wide receivers. And then Christian McCaffrey would have said, awesome start.
Love him so much, especially in PPR.
Did you get worried about the short week with the game they had last week?
I think you always worry about a short week, but...
Especially going on the road. I mean, they're not traveling too far. They're just traveling Pittsburgh. If this is like at Oakland or something, I'd probably worry a little more, but...
I think you always worry about the short week, and, Thursday night's always full of surprises, right? So you never know what's going to happen in Thursday night. Juju could lay an egg. Curtis Samuel could be nothing, and it could be all DJ Moore this week. Greg Olsen might get hurt first quarter, might not play the rest of the game. Thursday night are full of surprises. I mean, last week, for example, the San Francisco 49ers decided, we can't start CJ Beathard. We'll start this guy that no one's ever heard of, and he balled out. So Thursday nights are exciting for that reason, and they're also very terrifying for fantasy football owners.
Yeah. And James Conner, Le'Veon Bell, tweeted out by Miami, but he still hasn't showed up to the Pittsburgh yet.
He wouldn't have played this week anyway.
No, he wouldn't have. But, it's just something to keep an eye on. We don't know what's going to happen when Le'Veon Bell comes out there.
It's week 10.
It is week 10.
So he has to report, right?
That's where things get weird.
I'm so sick of this Le'Veon Bell thing.
I am too.
I miss Zeke. I miss the Zeke watch.
The Zeke walk was a little better because at least we had stuff to go off of. Nobody's really ever done what Le'Veon Bell's doing.
Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. And as an owner, you have to be frustrated because now, even if he comes back, and we're talking in redraft leagues, he don't even have a role.
No,
there's no reason to take James Conner out of the starting.
Well, I've heard some reports. Maybe he plays the slot wide receiver role.
Okay.
I guess it's an option.
If they're paying him as much as they are, I'm sure they're going to get some use out of him. He might be the slot wide receiver. He is a great route runner. And he could be back there returning kicks.
But also, if you look, James Conner's been more efficient in the red zone than Le'Veon Bell's been in his career.
Some of it's scheme. Clearly, some of it's scheme.
It is, but...
Is James Conner the better and more talented running back? I don't think so. But the numbers say otherwise.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what else. Are we starting either defense, Carolina or Steelers, Pittsburgh?
I don't feel confident starting either defense.
Okay.
If you can start Luke Kuechly in IDP, I recommend that.
Ooh, Luke Kuechly?
Always Luke Kuechly. Why would you not ever start him?
Yeah.
So do you like Greg Olsen or Vance McDonald better this week?
Greg Olsen. He's still Cam's favorite target at the receiver position.
Do you like Cam or Big Ben better?
It's probably Big Ben at home.
Ooh. You don't like them rushing yards from Cam?
I do, but we saw last week Cam really didn't run the ball like he usually does. He didn't punch it. He let Christian McCaffrey have a red zone touchdown run.
And the fullback.
Yeah.
I have to throw that out there because it hurt my heart. Really hurt my heart. I thought that was going to rob me of my week, but it didn't. Thank goodness.
Well, it must be nice living on the top.
I'm doing pretty well.
Okay, Mary Antoinette out there. Let them eat cake and stuff.
I'm doing well. Uh-huh. I'm very happy, very fortunate that my team.
These humble brags are really starting to piss me off.
No, it's just because I don't want to mess it up. I'm not much of a bragger. Now, if I win, that might change. If I win this league.
So, do you got some questions for tonight? A little Tuesday night question action.
Honestly, it's been kind of quiet tonight. I went out there and I've looked, and there's not really a lot going on. So,
okay, let's talk about waivers going to clear probably tonight or in the morning for most people. We talked about Marquez Valdez-Scantling. We said Cordell Patterson's not somebody we're really targeting. Dez isn't somebody we're really targeting. Trade deadline's on the way. What players in the trade deadline are you looking to go after? Some maybe possible buy lows.
So I think there's a good opportunity for you to go out and get receivers on these teams where the trades just happen. Whether it be, you go out and you maybe get Demaryius Thomas, or you go out and the Eagles haven't played yet, so maybe you can go out and get Alshon Jeffrey, even though his role won't be affected much. I like, because Golden Tate, he has a different role in that offense, and I think having Golden Tate there will actually help open things up for Jeffrey a little bit. I think he's a great buy low candidate. I think either one of the Lions guys, Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay, I don't know why his name eluded me, but after that awful game against Minnesota, I think that they're both great buy low candidates. As far as running backs go,
I mean, it's still hard to buy low on a running back because Jordan Howard, he's had a couple good games now, but
we're deep into the season. We kind of know what we're going to get from these guys.
Jordan Howard, it's going to get cold up in Chicago. I think their offense is going to kind of slow down a little bit and play with the cold of Chicago. Power run game, Jordan Howard. Because we saw that last year a little bit. Tariq Cohen kind of flashed for a little bit, and then they went back to – I know it's a different coaching staff.
If you can get them, but you can't overpay for it, because it does look like they are going away from Tariq Cohen a bit, and they're going more towards Jordan Howard. This offense, they do not want to throw the ball. You got to remember that they know Mitchell Trubisky has weaknesses. Whenever they throw it, a lot of times he even looks to run. He's the second leading rusher out of all NFL quarterbacks behind Cam Newton. So I do think Jordan Howard's a great buy low candidate if you can get him for the right price.
Leonard Fournette is back practicing.
Dalvin Cook
came back and had a good game. He's on a bye.
Just say it. It's okay.
No, not going to do it. Oh, I hate Duke so much. All right.
That's okay to say.
But Dalvin Cook's on a bye, so maybe you can get him. What about Stephon Diggs? He's been up and down all year.
Do you even want him?
Why wouldn't you want him? The upside play.
He's the upside, but guys like Deshaun Jackson have upside.
Yeah. Which one would you rather? You would rather have Diggs?
Of course, I'd rather have Diggs.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you could try to get Diggs from somebody, if you find an owner out there that maybe the buys are going to hit him for the next couple of weeks and they don't know if Diggs is going to be there.
Yeah,
we're talking about championship run pushes here.
Of course. I think Diggs would be a great buy low if you could get him low, but I don't think his name still carries a lot of value.
It does. It does carry a lot of value, but depending on where you're at, these guys are targeting. We're talking about championship pushes here.
Honestly, even Emmanuel Sanders might be a great buy low candidate. He's had 2 dud weeks in a row. I think that the Broncos offense, and they're on a bye this week. I think if you're trying to make the championship push, the number 1 receiver there could be worth something.
And speaking of Broncos, old Bronco Demaryius Thomas gets a bye week now to get used to the offense in Houston. We saw when he did get opportunities, he didn't look bad in the offense. The plays he knew and they were scripted for him.
Yep.
But once he got into the whole offense and they run 2-minute drills, wasn't getting.
No, and Kiki knows the offense a little bit better, but I think Demaryius will probably. He did all that on a short week.
Yeah. He played on Tuesday and played it on a Sunday.
Yeah, he did all of that on a short week, and then, it was very clear that the plays that they ran whenever they got him the ball, all of them was in the first quarter. Those were scripted plays that he knew and he recognized, and they weren't able to keep going to him.
Yeah, it was. His best thing was a screen pass, which Demaryius Thomas has been known to take screen passes pretty deep.
Yes.
So, okay, that's a few guys. We're going to talk about this later, but I think you need to start looking ahead to defenses. If you are a team that's winning, you need to start looking at the playoff schedules for your defense. If you've been streaming defenses all year, I think these are smart things to look at. Like, why carry a wide receiver you're never going to start over maybe carry 2 defenses now to have some good matchups. Maybe go out and get the New England defense who has Buffalo during the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, I think if you've already gotten your buys out of the way. So, like, for me, I have in one league in particular, I have Christian McCaffrey, Aaron Jones, and Melvin Gordon. I also have LaShawn McCoy. I'm probably not going to use LaShawn McCoy anymore. I don't need him. So I'm not going to drop him. I'm going to try and trade something for him. Maybe even put together a package for a better player to upgrade my wide receiver position. But that's the kind of thing that you should be looking to do. Like you said, get ready for that playoff push. If you can target and figure out who the Bills are going to be playing in weeks 14, 15, and 16.
16 is the Patriots. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the
So go start looking at those defenses. I mean, if you can afford that, if you're sitting at 7-2, 8-1, 6-3, 9-0, go get them.
Yeah, somebody might have dropped them, and they have a bye coming up. So somebody might drop them on their bye. We've talked about it already before, me and you have. The Chargers should be getting Bosa back pretty soon.
Oh, that's
They don't
good.
have great matchups. They have the Raiders this week, so somebody probably owns them. But then they have Broncos, Cardinals, and then you roll into the playoffs. It's Bengals, Chiefs, Ravens. So you're probably not starting them those first two games. But against the Ravens, when they're at home with Bosa, you could probably start them in that game.
It's a good matchup.
And the Chargers are going to be playing for seeding in the wild card.
And I do want to say that I know a lot of people have been starting the Rams anyway. You've been holding on to the Rams. But people have been dropping the Rams. In some leagues, it's happening. They're going to get a keep to lead back in week 13 for their playoff push. That's going to make Marcus Peters better because he'll start being able to take on the number 2 receiver instead of having to cover the number 1. And he's been awful this year. Let me just say that. I think he was rated 111th out of 116 possible corners. That's bad.
Yeah.
I'm not good at math. I don't math good, but I know that's bad.
Also, something, depending on when your trade deadline is, week 12, both the Chiefs and the Rams are on a bye. So these teams that have probably been winning a lot probably have a couple Chiefs or Rams on their team.
Mm-hmm.
So if your trade deadline has not passed by week 12, or they're on tilt because they're a girly Kareem Hunt owner or something, somehow they got like that.
Oh my gosh.
Or they're a Tyreek Hill and girly owner.
I would hate that person.
Yeah, but go out and try to trade for them.
Absolutely.
Or try to trade something on their team. Get something from them.
Yeah, you can put together a package with Zeke.
Ugh. You need a couple more good games out of Zeke. But you might have to wait till that week 12 game. But those are the two best offenses in the NFL right now, and they're both going to be on bye.
Yeah, and they play in Mexico City. I'm so excited.
Yep.
Next week.
Have a fiesta.
It's next week, right?
Well, yeah, week 11 they play in Mexico
Yeah, and then
City.
they have the bye in week 12 because they traveled all the way to Mexico.
So. All right, one last little thing before we get into fantasy MVPs for Thursday night.
Whew.
Who do you think is going to be better rest of the season?
Let's do it.
Bills starting quarterback or Sam Darnold? Because I think we talked about teams playing the Bills. Look at teams playing the Jets during your fantasy playoff. Because he's getting worse.
I think. Oh gosh. This is a tough question because none of the Jets.
Because there's nothing good. There's nothing good here.
Yeah, it's not like I can make a nice little sundae, throw a cherry on top right now. Mm-hmm. But I just made it out of lemon ice cream. I can't do any of that right now. So if I have to pick one or the other, I'm still gonna go with the Jets because their offense has been ranked 30th in the NFL. Bills 32nd.
All right, so before we do our fantasy MVP, I do want to mention something. You guys probably noticed that I'm not talking with a bunch of whipped cream on my face and licking my lips a lot. The baker was out. The pie is on its way. Thursday on our long show, I'm wearing the pie. And we got a new way we're going to do this. We're going to do a pie every week for the rest of the season. Josh, you want to explain how we're going to do this?
Okay, so the same way that we have our beautiful Baltimore tight end wheel, we will now have a positional wheel. So we're going to spin the wheel. We have quarterback, running back, tight end, wide receiver, and we also have the defenses on there. It's the kickers. Yeah, excuse me. It's kickers, defense. And then the other 3 choices will be one of our choice. So Brad's choice, Josh's choice, Pat's choice, whatever. And we will pick the position. After that, we will pick from the Sunday games only. We're not going to do any Monday night games. We're not going to do any Thursday night games. We'll do Sunday games only.
Well, it'd be awesome to do Thursday game because you could see what's going on.
Yeah.
You got to take somebody that's got 40 points.
You're like, oh, well, I think I'll go with a Big Ben. All right. No, so that's the way we're going to do it. And every week, one of us will be subject to getting it. And this week, the big reason we didn't do it tonight is because Pat wasn't able to be here. Elsa's having a birthday. It's very important. Also, the Aussie. So
#1 fan.
Yeah. We're just going to sit back after this, eat a bowl of cornflakes, and call it good.
Yep. All right. So, fantasy MVP for Thursday night.
Well, I already know who you got.
What's that?
You already called it.
I did call it.
He called James Conner.
Because you stole it from me last.
He called James Conner, which is the home team running back. I'm going to go with Cameron Jarrell Newton.
You going Cam Newton?
Love him.
Okay. I don't think it's a bad pick. I thought you were going Christian McCaffrey, though.
I knew you would think that, but I have to go Cam here.
So you zigged when I thought you were going to zag. Got it.
Yeah, bingo. That's how it plays it.
Woo, buddy. Well, Kentucky's at halftime getting beat. So, my Kentucky fans out there, I'm sorry. We're going to have a rough morning tomorrow. But, all right, let's close this show out.
You should go to the gym. Jim Beam.
Woo-wee.
All right, so hit us up on Twitter at EmptyWagonFF. We got at Tack Jones, at FF Josh Hughes, and at HatTrickPat37. Come get us on Twitter. Come get us on Facebook. We got our website rolling. We're doing all kinds of great things. We're going to get into some pies. We're going to get ready and gear up for a huge season next year. We're going to be doing all kinds of things to keep our growth up. Please come hit us up. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell everyone, all right?
Send us questions, people.
Yeah, send us some questions.
You got fantasy winners here.
Yeah, you do. And then you got guys going to get pied. So it's happening.
Woo-wee.
Have a great week. We'll see you on Thursday.
Later.